Hello students, myself Amrita Dhar, Assistant Professor of Electrical Engineering Department of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management, JIS Group. Now, I will teach you switchgear and protection.
In this video, I will discuss about induction type relay. This topic is included in Module 3 of the subject Switchgear and Protection. Course code is EE/S5/SWGRP. Now, in my previous video, I discussed about electromagnetic attraction type relay, and also we derived the expression of torque for electromagnetic induction type relay. In this video, I will discuss about different types of induction relay. The different types of induction relay are shaded pole structure, wattmeter or double winding structure, induction cup structure. In this figure, you can show the schematic arrangement of shaded pole structure. It consists of a pivoted aluminium disc surrounded free to rotate in the air gap of electromagnet. One half of each pole of the magnet is surrounded by copper wire, copper winding, known as shading ring. The alternating flux phi S in the shaded portion of the poles will, owing to the reaction of the current induced in the ring, lag behind the flux phi mu in the unshaded portion by an angle alpha. Now these two fluxes differing in phase and will produce the necessary torque to rotate the disc. Now, as we proved in our previous video, the driving torque T is proportional to phi 1 phi 2 sin alpha, where alpha is the phase difference between two flux. Here the torque, in this case the torque is proportional to phi S, that is the flux of shaded portion, phi mu, that is the flux of unshaded portion, and sin alpha, assuming the phi S and phi u to be proportional to current I in the relay coil. So T is proportional to I square sin alpha. Now driving torque is proportional to the square of the current in the relay coil. Next is wattmeter or double winding structure. Now this structure gets its name from the fact that it is used in watt-hour meter. In this picture, you can show the general arrangement of wattmeter structure relay. The upper magnet, the upper electromagnet carries two winding, and the primary and the secondary. The primary winding carries the relay current I1, while the secondary is connected to the lower magnet and it circulate the current I2. Now the flux phi 2 induced in the lower magnet by the current in the secondary winding of the upper magnet will lag behind phi 1 by an angle alpha. The two fluxes phi 1 and phi differing in phase by an angle say alpha will produce a driving torque on the disc which is proportional to phi 1 phi sin alpha. Greater the phase difference, greater will be the torque generated. Now an important feature of this type of relay is that its operation can be controlled by opening or closing the secondary winding circuit. If this circuit is opened, no flux can be set up by the lower magnet. However, the value of current in the primary winding may be, and consequently no torque will be produced. Therefore, the relay can be made in operative by opening its secondary winding circuit. This figure shows the general arrangement of an induction cup structure. It most closely resembles an induction motor, except that the motor iron is stationary. Rotor iron is stationary, only the rotor conductor portion being free to rotate. The moving element is a hollow cylindrical rotor which turns on its axis. The rotating field is produced by two pairs of coils wound on four poles, as you can see in this picture. The rotating field induced currents in the cup to provide the necessary driving torque. Now, if the phi1 and phi2 represents the flux produced by the respective pair of poles, then torque produced is proportional to phi1 phi2 sin alpha, where alpha is the phase difference between two flux. A control spring and backstop for closing of the contacts carried on an arm are attached to the spindle of the cup to prevent the continuous rotation. Induction cup structure are more efficient torque producers than either the shaded pole or the watt-hour meter structure. Therefore, this type of relay has very high speed and may have an operating time less than 0.1 second. Next, I will discuss about relay timing. An important characteristic of a relay is its time of operation. By the time of operation is meant length of the time from the instant when the actuating element is energized to the instant when the relay contacts are closed. Sometimes it is desirable and necessary to control the operating time of a relay. For this purpose, mechanical accessories are used with relays. Instantaneous relay. An instantaneous relay is one in which no intentional time delay is provided. In this case, the relay contacts are closed immediately after current in the relay coil exceeds the minimum calibrated value. Now, this figure shows the instantaneous relay, instantaneous solenoid type relay. Although there will be a short time interval between the instant of pickup and the closing of the relay contacts, no intentional time delay has been added. The instantaneous relay have operating time less than 0.1 second. The instantaneous relay is effective only where the impedance between the relay and the source is small compared to the protected section impedance. The operating time instantaneous relay is sometimes expressed in cycle based on the power system frequency. Example, one cycle would be 1/50 seconds in a 50 cycle system. Next is the inverse time relay. An inverse time relay is one in which the operating time is approximately inversely proportional to the magnitude of the actuating quantity. This figure shows the time current characteristics of an inverse current relay. At values of current less than pickup, the relay never operates. At higher values, the time of operation of the relay decreases steadily with the increase of current. The inverse time delay can be achieved by associating mechanical accessories with relays. In an induction relay, the inverse time delay can be achieved by positioning a permanent magnet known as drag magnet in such a way the relay disc cuts the flux between the poles of magnet. Where the disc moves, current set up in it produce a drag on the disc which slows its motion. In other type of relay, the inverse time delay can be introduced by oil dashpot or a time limit fuse. An inverse time solenoid relay or using oil dashpot can be an example of this type of relay. The piston in the oil dashpot attached to the moving plunger slows its upward motion as a current value just equal to the pickup. The plunger moves slowly and the time delay is at maximum at higher values of the relay current. The delay time is shortened due to greater pull on the plunger. The inverse time characteristics can be obtained by connecting a time limit fuse in parallel with the trip coil terminals. The shunt path formed by time limit fuse is of negligible impedance as compared with the relatively high impedance of the trip coil. Therefore, so long as the fuse remains intact, it will divert practically the whole secondary current of CT from the trip coil. When the secondary current exceeds the current carrying capacity of the fuse will blow and the whole current will pass through the trip coil, thus operating the circuit breaker. The time lag between the incidence of excess current and tripping of the breaker is governed by the characteristics of the fuse. Careful selection of the fuse can give the desired inverse time characteristics, although necessity for replacement after operation is a disadvantage. Next is the definite time lag relay. In this type of relay, there is a definite time elapse between the instant of pickup and closing of the contacts. This particular time setting is independent of the amount of current through the relay coil. Being the same for all values of current in excess of the pickup value, it may be worthwhile to mention here that practically all inverse time relay are also provided with the definite minimum time feature in order that the relay may never become instantaneous in its action for very long overloads. Now, why a time lapse is applied in this type of relay? Because in power system there are many faults which are self-clear fault, and type of fault never damage the power system equipments. So a time gap is applied in this type of relay, so fault can remove from the system without damaging the equipment and without the opening of the circuit breaker. Now it is desirable to define and explain some important term much used in connection with relay. First one is pickup current. It is the minimum current in the relay coil at which the relay starts to operate. So long the current in the relay is less than the pickup value, the relay does not operate and the breaker control by it remains in the closed position. However, when the relay coil current is equal to or greater than the pickup value, the relay operates to energize the trip coil, which opens the circuit breaker. Current setting. It is often desirable to adjust the pickup current to any required value. This is known as current setting and is usually achieved by the use of tappings on the relay operating coil. The taps are brought out to a plug bridge. The plug bridge permits to alter the number of turns on the relay coil. This changes the torque on the disc and hence the time of operation of the relay. The values assigned to each tap are expressed in terms of percentage full load rating of CT with which the relay is associated and represents the value above which the disc commences to rotate and finally closes the trip circuit. Now pickup current is equal to rated secondary current of CT into current setting. For example, suppose that an overcurrent relay having current setting of 124% is connected to a supply circuit through a current transformer of 400/5. The rated secondary current of CT is 5 ampere. Therefore, the pickup value will be 25% more than 5 ampere. That is 5 into 1.25 equals to 6.25 ampere. It means that with above current setting, the relay will actually operate for a relay coil current equal to or greater than 6.25 ampere. The current setting plug multiplier usually ranges from 50% to 200% in steps of 25% for overcurrent relay and 10 to 7% in steps of 10% for earth leakage relay. The desired current setting is obtained by inserting a plug between the jaws of a bridge type socket at the tap value required. Next is the plug setting multiplier. It is or PSM. It is the ratio of fault current in relay coil to the pickup current. PSM is equal to fault current in the relay coil by pickup current. Now pickup current can be written as rated secondary current of CT into current setting. So PSM is equal to fault current in relay coil by rated current of CT into current setting. Next is the time setting multiplier. A relay is generally provided with control to adjust the time of operation. This adjustment is known as time setting multiplier. The time setting dial is calibrated from 0 to 1 in steps of 0.05 second. For instance, in an induction relay, the time of operation is controlled by adjusting the amount of travel of the disc from its reset position to its pickup position. This is achieved by the adjustment of the position of a movable backstop which controls the travel of the disc and thereby varies the time in which the relay will close its contacts for given value of fault current. A so-called time dial with an evenly divided scale provides this adjustment. The actual time of operation is calculated by multiplying the time setting multiplier with the time obtained from time versus PSM curve of the relay. Next is the time versus PSM curve. This figure shows the curve between time of operation and plug setting multiplier and represents the number of times the relay current is in excess of the current setting. The vertical scale is marked in terms of time required for the relay operation. If the PSM is 10, then the operating time is equal to 3 seconds. The actual time of operation is obtained by multiplying this time by the time setting multiplier. Now, it is evident from this figure that the lower values of overcurrent time of operation varies is inversely with the current, but the current approaches 20 times full load value. The operating time of relay tends to become constant. This feature is necessary in order to ensure discrimination on very heavy fault currents flowing through the sound feeders. Now, in order to calculate the actual relay operating time, before solving numerical problems, you should know some terms. First, time versus PSM curve, then current setting, then its time setting, its fault current and its current transformer ratio. Now, the procedure for calculating the actual relay operating time is as first convert the fault current into the relay coil current by using the current transformation ratio. Then express the relay current as a multiple of current setting, that is the calculate the PSM. Now from PSM time versus PSM curve of the relay, read off the time of operation for the calculated PSM. Now next determine the actual time of operation by multiplying the above time of the relay by time setting multiplier is in use. So now we will solve a numerical problem and we follow these steps. So the problem is determine the time of operation of a 5 ampere 3 second overcurrent relay having a current setting of 125% and a time setting multiplier of 0.6 connected to a supply circuit through a 400/5 current transformer when the circuit carries a fault current of 4000 ampere. So the rated secondary current is 5 ampere, pickup current is rated secondary current of CT into current setting. Here the rated secondary current of CT is 5 ampere and current setting is 125%, that means 1.25. So multiplying these two terms we get the pickup current 6.25 ampere. Fault current in relay coil equals to 4000 into 5/400 which is equal to 50 ampere. Now plug setting multiplier is fault current in the relay coil that is 50 by pickup current which is 6.25 ampere which is equals to 8. Now in the previous video, now we follow the time versus PSM curve. Here when the PSM is 8, the operating time is 3.5. So corresponding to plug setting multiplier of 8, the time of operation is 3.5. So actual time of operation is 3.5 into time setting. Time setting is 0.6, so 3.5 into 0.6 equals to 2.1 second.
That's all from today's class. If you have any problem, please contact with me. My contact details is given on the first slide. Thank you.